Can you tell me a little bit about B&B Tractors?
Yes, we've got 3 depots, Alan. We've got our head office in Warsop, which is near Mansfield in Nottinghamshire, right in the middle of Nottinghamshire. We've got a smaller depot just north of Buxton, a place called Tideswell, and we've got this depot here right in the heart of Staffordshire. Very, very much different farming between the depots. Head office is very much more vegetable, arable orientated, with more high-tech machinery been used. Buxton, Tideswell is very much livestock, dairy, sheep, big area for quad bikes and smaller tractors. And then we've got the new depot here, which is a real pleasant mixture of them all. But when you get further from north from here towards Ashbourne, then you are into larger livestock customers. When you get below here towards Coventry, then there's a very, very big arable population. We do pretty much everything, actually. We've got a very strong sales force. We've got 7 retail reps serving the farming community, selling agricultural machinery. Obviously, off the back of that, we've got a very large after-sales business, which includes parts and service. And we run 20 service engineers, and we've got 9 people in the parts department looking after the whole business. But we are primarily an agricultural business.
There's been a lot in the media, and everyone knows about the difficulties within the economy at the moment. How's that affecting your business?
Well, I can only answer that honestly and say that we haven't seen it. Farming is generally a very resilient business, and people have to eat, and we shouldn't lose fact of that. And we can produce top quality food in the UK. And obviously the one thing a UK farmer does is reinvest in his business. And with the brands that we've got world leading brands throughout the business and all 3 depots. And in a time when things are tight, people do buy the best. So we were actually well placed, and we're not complaining.
The weakness of the pound, is that affecting your business at all?
It's had a kind of a plus and a minus effect, really. So you might say a status quo. Obviously, an awful lot of machinery available to the UK market is made offshore. So that has a detrimental effect with the euro-pound. However, it has meant that used equipment is quite sought after in Europe by the European farming community, and it has meant that we've been able to get quite good money for that. So, in terms of a transaction, it's probably about a status quo, like I say.
A knock-on of the weakness of the pound has been a buoyancy within the livestock sector. Do you think livestock farmers are actually reinvesting in things like equipment?
Indeed, without question. It's the livestock farmer. His primary reason for looking after his farm is his livestock, and his machinery is a means to an end. And the livestock customer has always reinvested in his machinery to make sure that he produces the highest quality milk, or the highest quality sheep, or the highest quality beef. So very much reinvestment is part of the plan.
In terms of your customer base, you mentioned livestock. What sort of machines are livestock farmers looking for?
Goodness me, that's a good question, and it's one that we could talk about for days on end. But we offer the customer anything from dairy chemical for use when he's milking, right through to machinery to bed the animals, to go out and make the silage, whether it's a wrapper or a baler. Quad bikes for the people that want to nip between fields and maybe check on an animal and herd health out in the field, right down to the Massey Ferguson 5400 series that we're stood in front of.
And why does the 5400 fit in with the livestock farmers' activities?
I think it fits, and an awful lot of that is historical. The machine, Massey Ferguson, are renowned for the machines that they produced for the livestock customer in the last 25-30 years. and the 5400 series is an evolution of that. It can be a very basic machine for the customer that wants a basic machine, but it can be a high-tech, high-powered machine for the customer that maybe wants to drive a forage harvester or do a lot of haulage of silage. Maybe he's got 2 or 3 units and doing a lot of road work. So it's such a versatile machine for us to spec up for the customer that it really is the ideal product for them.
And what sort of specifications are people asking for? I mean, what's the majority of people looking at?
Now, and this is the interesting part of our business and the locations. The 5400 customer at our head office and down here are looking for the higher end of the horsepower, going right up to 145 horsepower with road speed gears and power shift. The customers, when we get onto the hills, the sheep farmers, they're probably wanting the 100 horsepower, maybe the 90 horsepower, but with the straight Dyna 4 gearbox.
I noticed there's one you stood in front with the loader setup and the drop nose. What sort of people are looking in that particular spec?
It's for the customer that's obviously using the loader, like you've rightly said, or front linkage, i.e. machines that are mostly facing forward, and this would represent a very popular configuration for us. The high visibility roof that you can see for loading at height, or maybe putting into a forage wagon, the snoot lows at the front for good visibility with a front mower, or of the loader when operating at more ground level.
And in terms of things like fuel economy and power, how does it react and how does it work?
Excellent, and we've recently done some trials and sold 3 tractors to comparative or competitive customers, whereby we've got the deals on fuel efficiency. They all use state-of-the-art Tier 3 Perkins engines, and we've had a difference between up to 14 litres per hour on the same job versus the competitor that we were able to take out. So very, very frugal on fuel. Going forward, I mean, you're saying that farming is looking pretty buoyant at the moment and things are going well. How do you see your business developing maybe over the next 5-10 years? Certainly only forward, and like I said earlier, Alan, it's off the back of having so many industry-leading brands. We will be forging forward. I see us maybe developing certain arms further. We've recently introduced B&B Crop Care, which is we've brought in expertise into the business for the application of fertilisers and sprays, and as we know, that's a very, very precise piece of technology that's got a lot of red tape attached to it. So from our side, we feel that offering assistance with that should work very, very well. And that will be for selling and installing and supporting sprayers and fertilisers throughout the agriculture in our area.